Hello and welcome to Play Talk Repeat for this, our monthly video game book club episode. Once a month, one of us picks the games, the rest of us to play and review. This month's game was 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors, as chosen by Alex. Alex, you want to tell us a little bit about why you chose it?
I've heard about this game for quite a few years, and it's just been one of them games where I've just been like, yeah, I need to play this game, but I've just never found the time to actually like play it. My original pick was going to be the first Assassin's Creed, but it wasn't on Game Pass or anything.
Jesus.
So I
I
was
didn't
just
pick
like,
that.
no, I know.
I wish I'd picked any other Assassin's Creed other than the first one.
I've only ever played Brotherhood.
We've
So
got
I
to
was
start
like,
from the beginning.
I know,
Exactly.
the first one's pants, it's bad times.
It is. It's not good.
Anyway, I got Danganronpa vibes and Phoenix Wright vibes from 999, so I was like, this seems right up my alley. So I wanted to force everyone else to play it.
And we're all very glad you did. So a little bit about the game. It is a visual novel and adventure type video game. It was originally released on Nintendo DS in December 2009. I believe we've all played the PC port, I assume.
Yeah, I started on the DS version, but then there was a sale on Steam, so then I just played the Steam version.
And finally, it was developed by Chunsoft.
Yeah.
Why?
Yep.
Why?
Should we do some opening statements, guys?
Go on then.
Should we start with Alex since he picked it?
Me?
Oh, aye, go for it. Yeah.
Right. I did like this game. I probably give it a 7 out of 10. I know, spicy. Yeah, I really like the concept of the branching paths and stuff. The only thing I didn't like, which was fixed in the remake, as Lewis told me, the fact how I have to like replay like certain parts again just to get different endings. But it's even worse on the DS version because you have to start from the very beginning of the game, right?
Yes.
Jesus.
In the DS version, I mentioned it a bit more later, but yeah, the tree that's in the remake is not in the DS version. So not only do you not know where all the paths start to branch off, you have to figure that out yourself, but you also can't just go to the parts you want to. You have to play through the entire game again up to that point and do all the puzzles and stuff. And there's no like skip dialogue option or anything, so you just have to mash through it. So the DS version makes it very long, basically, and the remake fixed a lot of that.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I really liked the mystery of it all, like trying to find like what was going on within the story, like finding out who all these different characters are and stuff, like especially with like Seven who's lost his memory and stuff. Yeah, just the concept of it all, like being in an escape room, which I really like enjoyed. Yeah, that's me.
Grand. So let's flip flop. Niall, you next.
We're flipping flopping.
Yeah, we're flipping flopping.
Flipping flopping.
Based on what
yeah.
I think people are going to say about the game.
Fair enough. Well, guess what? I also gave it a 7.
Oh,
so
shit.
Frick you, I suppose. Yeah. Overall, I quite enjoyed the game. Standard things which I didn't like were obviously the narrative, which, if we look at it from like a surface level, is 90% of the game. But that didn't stop me from giving it a 7 because I thought the puzzles, though a lot of times involved you to have way too much knowledge, a lot of like outside world stuff, which like there were sometimes, for example, with the first puzzle, not to go into too much, but with the first puzzle, I looked up how to solve it and I still didn't get it. Like I looked up step by step how to complete the puzzle.
Which
and
puzzle?
The first room, the brief.
Yeah, the flooding room.
What
Like
did you suck on?
it just didn't make any logical sense because it was the stuff with like the red and blue triangles, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I looked at the paper and I inputted the numbers based off the paper, and it kept telling me I was wrong, even though I did it precisely.
Did you have both pieces of paper?
Yeah, I made the same mistake. I didn't have the second piece of paper.
Wait, so there's the one with the shapes and the numbers, right? And
Yeah,
then
there's
one with
yeah.
the
yeah.
blue
So
and
there's
red.
one with red and blue shapes on it, and then there's
Yeah.
another piece of paper with red and blue shapes on it, and you're meant to match both the first blue half and the second blue half on the piece of paper, and then the first red half and the second red half
Right. So yeah,
It makes a whole number. Yeah.
if there's two ones with the coloured shapes, then yeah, yeah, that'll be why then. But yeah, that twisted my melon. I was convinced at the start I'm not going to use a guide for this, and then I
immediately.
answered, and then
You
it
did use
still
the
didn't tell
guide.
me. So I just had to look up the answer instead. But yeah, the puzzles are really great, and I really liked how the game just did not give a shit about you at all. Like, you could be thinking you're doing really good, like, oh yeah, I'm doing all these puzzles, and all of a sudden you just get destroyed, which I actually quite like, and it feels like a story which you actually have an impact on. So yeah, that's me.
Big Lou.
Yeah, I'll try not to get into like too many like parts because obviously I want to save stuff for later. But overall, I think the game is very, very good. I've played this game before. I played it as a kid on DS, and I think it's just as good now as it was then. The remake does 90% of things correct, and I think overall it is a much better experience. There are a few things that are a bit poo and a bit shit, but it's not like the end of the world. I don't think it ruins the game or anything. I think the narrative is very, very strong, and I still to this day think this is one of the best visual novels out there for like the average consumer. I think there's a lot of fun to be had with it, and I think it's not too intimidating. Even though, like Niall said, like 90%, 95% of the game is reading. Like if you want to play this game, you have to be aware that you're reading a book, pretty much. But yeah, I think there's a lot of fun to be had. I think all the characters are really, really good, and a lot of the stuff they implemented with the remake it just made the game just a way more enjoyable experience. I'm going to give the game, I think, an 8 out of 10 overall. It's a very, very good game, and still holds up just as well as it did.
Jolly good, right.
Just to clarify, sorry. I don't think the narrative is bad. I think the dialogue is bad. Just to clarify.
Did you play on adventure mode or novel mode?
Not sure what those are.
Adventure mode, the text appears at the bottom of the screen. The novel mode, it kind of appears all the way down the screen type thing.
A bit more to it, but like so in adventure mode, it plays more like Phoenix Wright, where your character will just say what he's meant to say. In the novel mode, it's like an actual book where there's a ton of descriptions and descriptors for stuff, and there's way more context to the situation. Like one of the annoying things about the game compared to the original is that because the game was built with adventure mode in mind, they make the voice actors say really obvious stuff all of the time when it's really unnecessary. Whereas in the DS version, that isn't there because it's all on the screen. And if you play the novel mode, he still says it because the voice acting constantly runs. But you'll see that there's way more context to everything, and it would be being explained like a book basically with lots of descriptions. But the adventure mode completely cuts all that out and just has the dialogue. Which obviously makes it annoying because, like I said, he repeats stuff all the time when there's no reason to.
Yeah, I think it was the one that had the text at the bottom of the screen, if I remember rightly. I did get to make decisions though, unlike what I said.
Yeah.
That stays the same. Yeah. It's just the adventure mode just cut out 80%. Anything that would basically describe the scene is cut out in adventure mode.
Yeah, I didn't because I switched between adventure mode and novel mode a couple of times. I just randomly just to see the difference. I never saw that text in between, so I don't know if I just didn't do it for long enough or whatever. So opening statement, 4 out of 10.
Damn.
4 out of 10. Yeah. I rate these games based on how much I enjoy them, and I just didn't really enjoy this at all. Yeah, no, I wanted to think is like so. Visual novels, I feel like they need to have a little bit more to them to be considered a video game. Otherwise, it's just something you could stick on Netflix, like Bandersnatch or something like that. You know what I mean? And I don't feel as if the escape parts of the game are enough to like take it away. So the only other like kind of visual novel game I've ever played is Phoenix Wright. And the thing is with Phoenix Wright, you've got the courtroom bits as well. And the courtroom bits are the exciting bits, and you get to make all these decisions and stuff, and you've got to like kind of like figure out the puzzle from that point of view, and it's exciting. This game is like the worst parts of Phoenix Wright, which is like the investigations during the day before you go to the courtroom. And I always want to get through those parts in Phoenix Wright as fast as possible, and it's just 90% of the game for this. I didn't really like any of the characters. I think it's one of my main issues with like anime in general is that a lot of the characters are completely one-dimensional,
right?
And that nearly all of the characters in this game fit that archetype where they are one-dimensional. I know there's a lot of them, so that's kind of the point. Each one's supposed to be like stand out as different, so that's why they do it. But I don't know, it's just annoying. I didn't really feel anything for any of the characters. The branching paths. So I looked up how to get the last. I know you get the screen with the branching paths and it shows you like which way to go to get which ending or anything. But as far as I could tell, for the absolute final true ending, you need to take paths that don't necessarily appear on it. Like it's like so when you take the first path at the beginning of the game, you got two options, right, and then they go back down towards the middle. Yeah, so there's no indication of which of those paths you need to take to kind of to get the true ending, and that kind of annoyed me. So I only got the one ending. I did try and play a bit more, but I just wasn't enjoying it enough to put myself through it again, kind of thing. So
I think that's fair.
4 out of 10. Trying to explain myself, we never had that where everyone's giving it a good score and then someone's come in and give it a bad. So I tried to justify myself as much as possible.
We have. It was my last game, Tulip, where us three.
Oh
enjoyed
yeah,
it,
shit, yeah, no.
Said it was shit.
It was a bit poo, to be fair.
Yeah, Alex's games always pisses off one person.
Yeah, at least.
Grand. So shall we talk about which ending that we got then without necessarily spoiling too much about it?
Go on then, I'll go first.
Hit me with it.
From what I played this, just for context for people watching, I completed this, I think, like January 7th. I'm recording this February 22nd, so I'm struggling to remember a lot of it. But I think I died in the Steam engine room.
Each ending's got a name.
It's got a name.
Dude,
Yeah.
Is that the?
Is
Would
that
that be the submarine ending?
submarine?
Or is
Yeah.
Submarine, yes. That
Right, okay.
was a submarine, and I think someone was in the submarine and shot me or something like that. I have a feeling I know who. Let me just remember the name of that person. It was the girl who I knew before I went in. Do you remember the name?
June.
June.
Yeah. Right. She wasn't with me for like the last like two puzzles, and in the two bits where I saw all the people dead, she wasn't the one of the people that were dead, and so I didn't see her for ages, and she was the only person alone. And then I got shot out the submarine. Well, not shot out the submarine. Someone shot me who was in the submarine. So I think it was her.
Does the murderer change based on what ending you get, Lewis?
I don't want
Probably
to
a spoiler.
I don't want to say.
Okay, cool. Because I would have thought that it didn't. I would have thought that it didn't. But okay.
Yeah, that's not what I say.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, if you go on a branch where June's with you, which I assume is possible. Okay, it felt like it was possible from my perspective anyway. Then she wouldn't have had the opportunity to, at least. Like, it might be the case of multiple people want to kill you, but it depends on who's got the opportunity.
To be fair, Junpei can be kind of annoying, so I don't blame him.
The most generic man ever.
It is very generic. Well, everyone else has got too strong of a personality. He's got none at all.
But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I like the game a lot as well, because it was like I actually cared who shot me. I wanted to know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Did you try and get any other endings or anything? No.
No, I was going to, and I didn't.
Okay.
Is the thing. But the thing is, as well, I kind of like also took a stand. It wasn't just because of lack of effort. It was also that I liked the experience I had as like a whole experience. Like as a game where there's multiple different endings, multiple different paths, and each choice matters. I thought it was like also a bit pure as well, just to have that as my ending to the game, like my experience from start to finish. So yeah.
Yeah. See, well, I went in thinking I was gonna feel like that, but the fact that my ending was so shit and so sudden, I thought that doesn't feel good at all. I feel like I wasted my time. But I got
the same ending as you, Oliver.
It's important to know.
My first ending.
Yeah, it's important to know that to anyone listening, this game is meant to be played multiple times, but you need to like visual novels in order to do that.
Yeah, it's literally designed that way. Like your first ending is always shit, no matter what you do. It's always just a poo ending. You can never. It's impossible. It's literally impossible to get the actual ending on your first playthrough. Like it can't be done. So at minimum, you're playing it 2 times. But like even then, you're going to be playing it probably 3 or 4 times before you actually get the proper ending. So you need to be committed to wanting to read and be really into the story.
Yeah, exactly, and lots of people are. It's just not for me. So I got the knife ending first.
Okay.
I also got the
Same as
knife
me.
ending
Same as
first.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, knife
Oh,
ending.
damn.
And
Is that an early ending?
No, I don't think it only happens the same kind of time as yours.
It's a very abrupt end.
Oh,
Mine was
Yeah.
4 hours in.
incredibly abrupt. You go down an elevator. I thought, because I was looking at the flowchart as I was going through. I thought I still had like at least 2 more things, and then I was just dead.
Yeah.
It was
Like I thought I was on track for like a good ending.
Yeah.
And then all of us like I was really confused because like I didn't make a choice. And then I looked back at the flowchart. I was like, why has it gone off to this one?
Yeah.
There was no choice for me to make. And then I
Yeah.
saw like a little lock symbol on the novel part, and I was like, I've got to do a different thing early on. I've done something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. This
Is
is
based on conversations rather than branch choices at all? Do we know?
What, sorry?
I said it's some of it just based on like conversation choices rather than like I don't know, like choosing which room to go into. Because I can imagine like it could be built in where based off choices you've made with each character in terms of like what you say to them, like just one particular tile on the branch could turn into like a death ending or something like that.
I believe so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure different dialogue.
Isn't that how to get the true ending?
Well, yeah, specifically, again, I don't know how it works in the remaster, because I didn't do the trend in the remaster, but in the original one, you have to play the game up to a certain point, and then save the game, and then replay the game with that save still existing, and then something changes, because the game knows that you saved it at this particular point, and then it lets you do something. And I don't know how that works in this because of the branching path thing. I don't know how it works in this. But yeah, to get the actual ending in the game, it's very, very specific. You have to do a very specific thing. So dialogue options definitely do affect it. I'm just not 100% sure on like the degree outside of the true ending.
Yeah, I don't think it affects any of them outside of the true ending. As far as I've read, you need to there's 3 points in which you punch your path branch. You need to go specific ones each time, and I believe it's 2 dialogue options at some point in the story. Which triggers it. But you need to get the better ending, like the best ending out of the shit ones first, and then you can do that kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know how you meant to figure it out, like by
mad.
yourself. Like even when I played it originally, I didn't do this by myself. Like I needed to use a guide. It don't make any sense. As far as I know, there isn't anything in the game that hints that that's what you're meant to do. You're just sort of meant to figure it out. But games like to do that a lot, where it's like, oh yeah, this is really simple. Like obviously, how did you not figure this out? When in reality, no one was ever going to figure it out.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, to be honest, if you knew how, because again, I've looked it up and I couldn't think how the fuck would you know.
I just have no clue. In the remake, I can't for the life of me think about how it would work. It doesn't make sense. But obviously, I know they changed the last puzzle slightly, so they might have changed how you actually get it. But again, I'm not 100%.
Okay, fair play. But yeah, for my ending, I thought I was going down the right path and stuff. I tried to stay with June as much as I could because I assumed that would be the right thing to do, even though she was incredibly annoying. God, was she annoying! You're on a ship. You've got hours to live. What's with all this anime like fake relationship bullshit?
Your childhood friend.
No, but it's so annoying. It's just like, oh no, it's like, just don't be so lewd, all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, shut the fuck up. Stop it. I'm trying to survive. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. And it happens in every anime. It does, and I hate it. Anyway. Yeah, I was trying to do my best to get through it. And no, I got knifed. So should we talk about the puzzles? So like I said, 90% of it is dialogue. He's just
dialogue.
talking or making a branching path choice, but then you get locked in certain rooms that you need to get through, and there's a solution to each room. One thing I want to talk about is so you guys will have done the same path as I done because you got the knife ending. So the one where you've got to take like little sticks with each
the pins.
Yeah. Did you know what a magic square was before this game? No, I had to look it up. I had no fucking clue what that wanted me to do with it at all.
This goes back to what Niall was saying before. I mean, he described it wrong with the puzzle he was explaining because he just didn't do it properly. But yeah, it very much does require you to have knowledge of like outside things that like unless you know about it, it means literally nothing because the game doesn't even attempt to like explain or describe what it is. It just goes, yeah, you know what this thing is, like do it. But yeah, I didn't know what it was either. I had to go look at them.
Yeah, they explain digital root really well. I think. I mean, they
I probably
over
did
explain
that,
it, if
yeah.
anything.
I was
But
gonna compliment that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but then for let's say 9 out of 10 times it comes up, they work it out for you.
Well, I always thought it was dumb, yeah, because you could just brute force it because it gave you a calculator and stuff to figure it out, but you could just enter numbers until you saw the number that you needed, and then you could brute force it, which was a bit silly, I thought.
Yeah, but like, just, how easy would it have been to just put up a little graphic telling you saying what a magic square was?
Oh no, yeah, it would have been, and especially like you said,
It might already be in that book because there's
maybe.
thing. Yeah, I didn't read it though.
I mean, I look through the file, I look through it, kind of thing. But there was nothing that said magic square on it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There was solving puzzles,
All right,
one, solving puzzles two, solving puzzles three, all that shit. That's, you know what I mean. That's no good to me. That's all.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I'm an advocate that I don't think it's wrong to like in these sorts of games where you've got to figure out this puzzle. I don't think it's wrong or bad for you to look stuff up if you can't figure it out, because at the end of the day, especially since it is a visual novel, you're just trying to get through the puzzle to get back to the reading anyway. So I don't think it's obviously you should attempt it yourself. I don't think you should just spoil it for yourself instantly, but I don't think it's a big deal to just go look up what you need to do, because some of the puzzles are just really stupid and unfair. So
For me, the only thing I looked up was the pin one, because I was literally trying to brute force it for ages, and I was like, it's been 20 minutes. I need to look this up, otherwise I'm gonna be here all night.
there don't seem to be a
That's
middle.
like the only thing I looked up.
There don't seem to be a middle ground for the puzzles. They're either insanely easy,
insane, yeah.
or just unfair because you've no idea what the fuck it wants you to do. Like if you compare it to something, like Professor Layton. Professor Layton always explains the puzzle type in language you can understand.
No. I played through some of them Layton games, and one of them, I literally had to ask one of our friends who is like a god at maths, and I still like.
Oh yeah,
tried explaining it to me, and I had no clue. I was like, "How? This is like A-level maths."
Yeah,
I had no clue.
I was just going off the first one. That's the only one I've played, so I can't speak for the other games.
The other games, they can literally just like make your brain explode. I think it might have been the third game. It was like something about 2 trains or something. Do you remember that one, Lewis?
Yeah, well, no, it was one of those tricks. So do you remember, like, for like back in the day when you do like, I don't know, like a maths test, and there'd be like incredibly simple questions, like this train leaves here at this time. What time does the train arrive here? And it always seems incredibly simple. It's like, oh, it's obviously this. It was one of those, except the actual answer, even when explained, didn't make any sense unless the train was like fucking time traveling or some shit. It didn't make any fucking sense at all. I mean, games take it too far though. Sometimes I don't know. The developers just feeling cheeky, I guess, and it's just like fuck these kids. I suppose.
So when you make that many Layton games, it's gonna get to a point where you say, you know what, start fucking challenging them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, new Layton game soon.
New Layton game, yeah. So to characters then, who was everyone's favourite character?
I thought that the one that surprised me the most, maybe because of my own prejudice, but I thought that the dancer was going to be the most one-dimensional, but I thought she was the most multiple-dimensional. Probably not third-dimensional, probably that's
it. Lois, the
yes.
Yeah, okay.
She had a lot about her. I don't remember much about her, but I know she had more than one thing about her, which says most about. It says like compared to the rest of the cast anyway.
I mean, I
got like Oliver's confused because
yeah.
I know what Niall's gonna be talking about.
I'd argue that she was the one, like the most one-dimensional of all of us. Out of all of them, because she had the one thing which was I'm dressed like this, but that doesn't mean I'm an object. That was a one thing, kind of thing.
The story was developed with her more, as well as I think it was who was the original not prison guy. Seven. Yeah, there was a story developed between them two, wasn't there, in the torture room, and that's where it became more deep.
Oliver's gonna have no clue because he didn't do this ending.
No,
this was exclusive to the submarine ending.
Oh, yeah, which I think you had to go through room 2 to get to, from what I've just seen.
I know you learn a lot about like each ending. I think you learn more about one character, kind of thing. I think that's it. You're supposed to like put the kind of puzzle together, aren't you?
Yeah.
But, yeah. No, I do want to make a point about Lotus because you brought her up though. Like Japanese developers, speaking directly to you. You can't make a point about objectification and make the woman completely like not what a woman looks like. You can't do both. You can't.
Is it dance?
No, but she doesn't look like an actual human woman, does she? Let's face it. She's a fucking hentai girl, right? But then the Japanese developers are trying to make the point about objectification. And it annoys the shit out of me. Again, another thing about I just really fucking hate anime, guys. I just really do. Apologies.
Japanese with a hard J. I don't like the way he said that.
that came out harder than it meant to. But I was because I didn't say developers fast enough after Japanese. All right, favorite character, Alex.
Probably 7 because like from all the endings that I experienced in the time that we played, he had the most thing about him with his amnesia and stuff, and like him gaining back his memories. There was some characters that I wish we could have seen more of, like the Ninth Man and Snake.
Oh yeah, my character, bro. My goat.
Which one?
Which one?
Snake. He's raw.
Oh, right. I was just gonna
Snake
say
is raw.
the ninth character didn't have much about them.
The ninth character that was in it for like 5 minutes. I thought he was like gonna come. Like I thought that was like a ploy at the start. Like he's not really dead. And he's, this
It's not a huge actual ball.
Yeah, literally. Squared it all up the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 7, just because of like the fact that like we actually got some like actual like backstory with him and like trying to figure out like what this like ship that they're on is. Like he seemed to know like the most, and I'm gonna try and get the true ending to see if like that plays a factor in it.
Yeah.
Is that the same for you as well, Snake?
No, Snake wasn't actually my favorite character. Snake's just got kind of a cool design. I also want to shout out Ace as well because he just looks like a Pokemon. Fucking.
He looks like a professor.
Gym leader.
Yeah, professor, gym leader. Yeah, like
Gym
straight
leader,
up,
both.
he looks like a gym leader. My favorite was probably, and is probably Santa.
Ooh.
But he's the generic guy in every anime.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's kind of why I like him. I just like
just because he looks like Toshiro from Bleach.
I just
He's
like
the guy from Persona 5. He's the guy from...
yes, I like he's just like cocky and annoying attitude. He doesn't really care about stuff. He's a bit stupid, but you know, he's got a nice heart. And I just like his design. I think his design's very, very cool, and I think he's always very laid back. I don't know. There's just something about the character that I just find very interesting. In terms of like actual plot and stuff, I think I have to agree that 7 is probably one of the most engaging characters. But Santa, yeah, I don't know. There's just something about Santa that I just really vibe with. I just like his design. I like his shitty attitude. It's just a fun time, really. And also, no one mentioned Santa, so I just felt like he should get a bit of credit.
Well,
it is mad though because on the first, sorry, Oliver, on the first like run through that I didn't even go through a single door with 7.
Yeah.
But like on the replays, like going through the different doors, that's like when I got to like get introduced to 7, which is probably why Oliver's like fuck 7. I didn't even get to
we must have taken a different door at some point because I went through one of them with 7.
Oh, you probably went through the first one with 7, and then
with 4 and 5 it doesn't matter. Like you end up in the same place.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't really have a favorite. I guess 7's up there. Okay, he's one of the least annoying kind of thing. I was just going to my least favorite. I didn't like Santa at all. I don't know. He was annoying because just his attitude towards everything. And again, I'll just point out Lotus again, the most one-dimensional character I've ever seen in anything, and I hated her. She was just irritating.
Santa's exactly the same. Like it's the exact same problem that I have, where you had with Lotus, in that like you've got a very limited amount of time. Just like get your shit together and actually do something rather than complain the whole time about it all. Like that's what annoyed me about Santa in particular.
They all waste quite a lot of time, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true. Especially that blind guy. What the fuck? What was he doing?
No, I don't actually know. I think like fan favorite characters. I think Snake is always up there. I think he's always one of the the highest voted characters. I'm not sure on anyone else. I just know Snake in particular. That's usually a character that people bring up a lot. But I don't think you guys have much experience with Snake, did you?
No.
No, I just saw water off and died. That was the entire thing. Like, he walked off and died, and I had to deal with his mopey sister the whole time after that. Fucking annoying.
Yeah, she was number 9. What was her name? I can't remember.
Oh, I can't remember. Clover. Yeah.
Clover, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, literally, she got herself locked in this room, and I was complaining the whole time she was locked in this room, and like I tried to get her out, but she wasn't helping in any way. I did manage to be able to get her out. These people,
There's only so much you can do.
bastards.
Anyway, do we have anything more to say on 999? I forgot the full name of it.
9 hours, 9 dogs, 9 cats.
That's the one. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, that's my favorite game.
I don't think so. All I could say is the game is very good, and if you haven't played it, play it, and don't look up any of the endings because, and no one in this call has had it yet. But the true ending is actually one of like the best endings in like any visual novel like ever. It's like mind blowing if you don't know what it is, which is why I'm not going to say what it is.
Actually get to it.
But it is actually like mind blowing shit. It's really, 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 really good.
I'm not going to make any spoilers or anything. But from what I've read of it, it sounds overcomplicated. Like the motivation behind the antagonist.
Oh no, it's complicated. Yeah, sure.
Motivation behind the antagonist. It sounds like some fucking sci-fi bullshit. I don't understand
it unravels so well though. It feels so good when you find out. It's very
I suppose reading it off a wiki page doesn't quite have the same impact.
No, definitely.
So just to wrap up, we had an 8, 2 7s, and a 4.
And a 4.
Yes. Indeed, and that was
Decent one, that.
9. Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, what's the average?
everyone
Like,
else.
what, 6?
I don't know.
Yeah. What's the digital route? I think that should be our thing.
Well,
Now
that's
we
how
have
we
to try
grade
and get
games
a
now,
digital
by the
route
digital
of 9.
Right. So
The average was 6.5.
6.5, not too bad at all. Would have been a nice, lovely 7 if I hadn't hated on it. Right, so we're playing 20 questions for next month's video game book club.
I forgot about this.
I'm choosing this time, you boy.
Oh
I'm gonna
god.
get the wiki page up for it.
Right.
You
You can't pick a terrible game now, Oliver. You can't go 0 for 3.
I mean, you definitely can't, but
I picked Brutal Legend and that was a banger.
it
Yes,
wasn't a
no, it
banger.
wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It was an average game. It didn't live up to
And
the
so was
title
Eternal
set.
Darkness.
Yeah, but everyone wanted to play Eternal Darkness. I'm sure that everyone,
I know,
maybe
I
apart from
admitted
Niall,
this.
but yeah.
I didn't say you were wrong for choosing it. I just said it ended up being stinky because I did want to play it. It was just really bad, so I didn't really like it.
Well, we'll see with this one, I guess. We'll see. Let the questioning begin. That was stolen directly from IGN. Let's play 20 questions.
Not much of that, Jen. Anyway.
Hey!
You counting, Oliver?
I suppose I'll have to. Won't I? Go on.
Right, go on, Alex. You go first.
Me? Is it on Game Pass?
It is. Way.
Nora.
What a question.
Good thing we looked through Game Pass. It was.
I don't remember anything that was on there. Is this game an indie game?
That is a cracking question that you just asked me right there.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it is. I'm gonna say it is.
Right. Okay.
An indie game. Right. This will narrow it down if it's a yes. Is it a first-person shooter?
Doesn't know.
I wish I'd played a bit of this game, to be honest with you. 1 second.
You could have just looked it up and just.
Right, I believe it is. No. You'll understand. I believe it is.
Okay. Well, that's good.
What's that meant to mean?
Okay, I'll rephrase it. I believe, in part, it is a first-person shooter.
Okay, so you do shoot at some point.
Okay.
Narrows it down a bit.
Yeah, sorry, I've just confirmed it is, in part, a first-person shooter.
I blanked harder in the second question. Was it an indie game?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So an indie game where sometimes you're in a first-person shooter.
Yeah. Sometimes you.
Well, I'd hope that you're in first person all the time and you shoot occasionally. Could be not the case, but yeah.
Maybe shoot one time in the game.
Yeah, maybe you're like a drug addict and it's heroin.
Ah, that's true.
Yeah, sure.
Heroin hero, it must be.
Yeah, shooting up.
I think that's the second podcast I brought up heroin.
Heroin hero.
Is that a South Park reference?
It is.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is. You
I
did
remember.
the same thing
Gotta
last
chase the
time.
dragon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate 20 questions. I don't know why I play it.
Bop it, pull it, twist it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Was was it released in? Was it originally released on Xbox, like the Xbox One generation?
Xbox.
It was not.
It wasn't.
It
So
wasn't.
it could be a new one or an old one.
That doesn't fucking help. Has this game released within the past 5 years?
Yes.
Oh bloody hell, it's a new one then.
Oh Christ!
Bloody
So it's a
Lord.
brand spanking new game.
Well,
Because if
somewhat
it wasn't
spanking new.
It's at least three.
well,
it's
no,
probably 3
it's
years
got to be
old.
Series X.
That's still 3 years now. Well, 2 plus.
No, I know. Because yeah, that's what I'm saying. Series X.
Is it now exclusive to Xbox?
In the way that any game is exclusive to Xbox, yes.
Okay, so also on PC Game Pass as well.
What if it's Slime Rancher 2? You're shooting Slime Rancher.
Yeah, I don't know if I let you guys know. I've sold my Series X anyway, so any game that I pick has to be on PC anyway, if it's on Game Pass.
Could be Slime Rancher 2.
I hope not.
I know he's been dying to play it.
Oh,
It
it's
is
me
always
again, isn't
fair.
it? Fuck. Oh, I hate 20 questions. Do we know the genre? We don't. Well, first person shooter, isn't it? Kind of.
Well, no, I don't think the genre.
Is it?
Is that he's shooting it?
Is it an action adventure game?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
You wouldn't look at this game and think, oh, that's an action adventure game.
No.
Okay. Lewis, it's you.
I can ask this question because you can just look it up, I guess. Did it score higher than an 80 on Metacritic?
I'm fairly certain it didn't. 1 second. It did not.
It's kind of a stinker, though, is what it is.
Oh, wait, what are you making us play this for?
Need a stinky game that came out in the past couple of years.
God, it's definitely going to be another mid game.
I think you can get this guy. I genuinely do think you can get this.
Is it Is it a stylized art style?
I'm gonna need you to explain that question a little bit more.
Yeah, that's vague, I think.
Stylized basically is anything that isn't realistic. So I thought it was realistic.
Doesn't know.
He's gonna say sometime.
Right, I'm gonna say yes. It is stylized.
Okay.
So, wait, which one was stylized?
So it's not realistic.
Not realistic.
So it's not realistic, right? Okay.
No.
Would you like? This is a sidebar, not related to the game that I picked anyway. Would you guys say like Fable is stylized?
I need to have a look at what Fable looks like.
I would say stylized.
You'd
You'd
say
proportions.
Stylized.
And stuff, yeah.
It's like a fairy tale.
What about like
Everyone's
what about
real
like
people.
what about like the Outer Worlds?
I would say that's realistic.
That's more realistic, yeah.
It also does get more difficult the older the game is as well.
That's true as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well I'm gonna say this is stylized.
Okay.
Right.
Basically, like the question was, does it look like Last of Us or not?
Yeah.
Well, I will put that this game makes that incredibly hard question to answer.
It's the
Okay.
Sims.
Take those words, put them in a different order.
Oh, fuck.
Right. Okay. Well, I had an idea for the game. This isn't like a question or a thing, but I thought it could be Deep Rock Galactic, just because it's mining and shooting.
That game is like 60 hours long.
Oh, is it? Okay. I'd never
Yeah.
actually played it. I don't know. I know it was co-op, which I thought would be a bit wacky.
Wait, what's the genre again?
It's just first person.
We don't know.
Oh yeah,
It's
just
sometimes first person and not action adventure.
trying
Yeah.
to think of what it could be. Did you guess, Alex? Did you do one? Or is it your
No, it's my turn. Hmm.
It could no.
Is it a? I don't know. It's difficult. This.
My hands are getting
Is
tired.
it a? Oh well, I'll just flip you off then. I don't know.
It's
Have
not
any
Hi-Fi
of
Rush.
us? I hope not.
It's not what?
Because all of us said he hated the game.
It's not Hi-Fi Rush.
Is that a
No,
question?
don't waste a question. It's not Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, I'm not. It's just a statement. I'm not asking.
Right, good.
Problem is,
Can't
there's
be
so
wasting
many
a question like
first-person
that.
shooter games I can think of.
Yeah, but this is
Or
a real.
Wait,
non-
Niall,
first
is
person
Hi-Fi
adventure
Rush?
shooter.
Is Hi-Fi Rush first person sometimes?
No, it's never first person.
Right, there we go. Hi-Fi Rush is off the table.
Yeah,
Quiet Lewis.
another thing I was thinking was Back for Blood, but again, that is entirely
I-
shooting.
Yeah, that's all shooting.
I'm not playing Back for Blood. I'll
Okay.
probably fucking
Can
leave.
you complete Back for Blood?
Yeah, it's just like Left 4
You
Dead,
can,
but
yeah.
shit.
You can play it solo as
Um,
well, which is another reason why I thought it was.
Have any of us played this game before?
No. I'd be very surprised.
Okay,
Right,
has
that's 10 questions.
Has this game got any sequels or anything? Is it part of a franchise?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Oh, it's fucking me again.
Just
We need to know the genre, don't we? We don't know that, do we?
We don't know the genre.
We just know you could shoot in it sometimes, but that isn't the genre.
Oh.
Well, actually, did he say you can shoot, or did he just say it's first person sometimes?
No, it's
It's
first
first
person
person
all the
sometimes.
time. Shooting occasionally.
Wait, is it first person all the time?
Oh, it might
Wait.
not be first person all the time, I suppose. But you can definitely shoot in first person, so I thought that it would be first person all the time, and then you shoot
I
occasionally.
know you could shoot in first person in Fallout, and you're in third person the rest of the time, if you want to be.
It won't make us play a Fallout game.
You just played one.
Yeah, I know. But the one I've just played is the one that Oliver most wants to play, so hopefully it don't make me play it again.
It could. Oh no, it can't be Slime Rancher 2. That's could be Sea of Thieves.
Is it a okay? So is sometimes in horror games you can shoot occasionally, but not often. So is it a horror game?
It is a horror game.
Oh, I
Big
think what it
brain!
is. I think
You know what it
is. If it's a horror game,
I think Big Lou's got it.
Could it be? Could it be
Go,
any?
go on then, Lewis. You may as well.
I don't just drop it. I don't just ruin
And
it.
we have a
Just drop
discussion.
it.
Is it Scorn?
It is indeed Scorn, yes.
Oh
We are
no!
playing Scorn.
I've seen that game. It looks awful.
Alright, so
It's a horror puzzle game.
yeah,
pretty much.
yeah. So I believe you shoot for maybe one chapter, but the rest of the time you're not shooting at all. You're in first person. I don't know if that counts as stylized or not, because it is realistic, but
Yeah, I
not
know what
any
you mean.
actual realistic at all.
Let me have a look.
And
I
I
thought it
don't-
might have
Can
been
we
on
get,
the
can we
Wii,
get a Scorn trailer up right now?
Oh, we bloody can, 1 second.
I think that'd be a bit exciting, won't it?
Oh, wow, yeah. Let's get a Scorn trailer up. Let's get launch trailer up, I guess. 1 second. Switches over. Boom.
Yeah, the only thing I remember from people talking about this game is that it makes you feel ill way too much than it should.
Well, yeah, not because of like motion sickness, because of the actual content.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I was saying to you earlier, I have one kind of criteria. One criteria. Yeah. Sorry, I was watching the trailer. One criteria for picking games, and that is something that I want to play, but I've no motivation to do so.
Yeah.
And that is Scorn to a T.
That is a gun.
To Oliver's credit, it is a very short game, so
Yeah.
if we get it, we could overly complain. It's like 4 or 5 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, that's alright then.
And it's a puzzle
I'm
game.
getting
If you
Doom
struggle with
vibes.
it, just get a walk.
Wait, it's a puzzle game?
Yeah, it's a puzzle
Yeah.
game.
I'm just seeing a lot of shooting, like Doom.
It's a puzzle game.
Like I say, you're shooting like I think there's 5 chapters and you're shooting one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, the rest of it's puzzle. I think it's also got like survival horror elements, I guess.
Excited to be spooked.
From what I
Yeah,
remember, it's
Scar.
like an open world, and
Oh,
it's like
no.
a maze, and you have to just go around and.
Yeah,
What is it with Oliver and the horror games? Eternal Darkness, Scorn, Brutal Legend.
I like my I like my horror games.
Took him a second.
Right, yeah. So that was it. That's Video Game Book Club. So we'll see you around next month for the episode around Scorn. We should have the PTR show up at the beginning of March, Niall. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll organise that. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Until next time, we shall see you later.
Bye.
Bye.